is DA. Take it away.
Kevin, thanks very much. Nikola Jokic loves to pass. He said an assist makes two people happy instead of just one. So it's a...
Sure is. Thanks, DA. And the injury report for both teams. Players who will not be available tonight.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. They've got Nikola Jokic. Porter is out there with Gordon. Then there's Murray. And it's Barton in at the shooting guard. And for Los Angeles, they've got Rajon Rondo. Batum is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. And it's Zubac in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And with what we saw in the bubble, Murray has clearly elevated his game. Showed that he could be a #1 option on offense. I mean, his output was an incredible part of that run for the Nuggets.
Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
And just paying attention to the details and makes great reads offensively. Jokic is so comfortable with the catch and shoot.
The three from George bangs home the trifecta. You know, Greg, the further we went into the playoffs, the more Jamal Murray looked like a star.
I mean, Kevin, big shots in clutch situations. Logged heavy minutes, but, you know, never wavered. A truly heroic performance from Murray all postseason.
And here's Jokic after Paul George getting his three to go. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Zubac.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Just 4 to shoot. And it's Murray penetrating. And they pick up 2.
And even at 6'5", Murray just elevates high inside for these buckets. A high percentage shooter down low.
Batum finds George. Now here's Zubac. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And there's Paul George on the assist from Batum.
Well, Paul George is not just a gifted perimeter shooter. That touch on the interior is impressive.
Murray, the pass to Porter. Back to Murray. Rondo with the steal. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. And George with the stuff.
He always had great instincts defensively. Rondo using that length there to come up with the steal.
Barton dishes to Murray. Back to Barton. Murray against George. Murray kicks to Jokic. And there's another one for the Nuggets.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Here's George. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game. Greg, you and I talk about the big man, his role in the current NBA, and how they can possibly carry the standard for the great centers before them. You played with the great one in Patrick Ewing, so you have a great appreciation, I would think, for it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I think two guys kind of separated themselves a little bit. Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, I think, are the two guys that stand out for me because of their ability, in essence, to do everything well. They can shoot it, they pass it, they can shoot it from the free throw line, they give you rim protection. I'd throw Rudy Gobert up there as an elite center as well. Doesn't have the offensive impact that those guys have, but he does impact the game as well.
3 young, dynamic centers. Those are good names. Now here's Barton. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. Barton passes to Gordon. And then jammed down as he goes right over. He beats a Zubac.
Wow, how about the burst? Aaron Gordon off the floor so fast. Don't sleep on him, gentlemen. You're going to look silly.
And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And Los Angeles with some changes. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Now here's Murray. The drive by Gordon. It's good. Gordon's got his second bucket.
How about the agility, boy? Gordon knifing his way inside, finishes with confidence. That's pretty.
Here's George. He's off on that one. Now Denver takes it the other way. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Now here's Murray. Back to Millsap. Murray left side. Just 5 on the clock. Over Jackson. Murray, no good.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
And Patterson kicks to George. Takes it from 10. Bank shot, no good. Jokic with it. Gordon goes in. Oh, my goodness! Wow. What a play!
Well, clear the runway, gentlemen. Aaron Gordon decided to finish with authority.
Nobody near George. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Nuggets lead by 1. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
So out there for the Nuggets right now, they've got Jamal Murray. JaMychal Green is out there with JaVale McGee. Then there's Paul Millsap. The feed now to Murray. And there's the pass to McGee. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. McGee's got the lead back up to 1 now for Denver.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
And the basket by Jackson.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
Here's Murray following the score by Reggie Jackson. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's his first foul. A different look for Denver. Porter's checked in for Millsap, and it's Will Barton in for Jamal Murray. Campazzo, 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Jackson deciding where to go with it. And the dunk by Jackson.
And with a quick first step, Jackson remains a threat to drive on any defender.
Now the dish to Barton. Pass to McGee. Outside Porter. Back to McGee. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Clippers have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Pass to Kennard. Back to Rondo. To the middle. And Michael Porter is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. Batum attacking, and he uses the glass on the layup. And now it's a 3-point Clipper lead.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Passes to Porter. Batum against Green, and it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Back to Porter. Shot clock at 6. It's Barton with the drive. Misses the layup.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
That one good for 2. Mann's got the lead up to 5 now for Los Angeles.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish in transition, nice and easy.
Outside, Green. Now the pass to Barton. Inside, it's stolen by Rondo. Here we go, 1-on-1. Here's Mann. Rebound by the Nuggets.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss. You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
For the Nuggets, Jokic comes in for JaVale McGee, and Gordon subbed in for Porter. Campazzo, defended by George. Gordon finds Barton. Lob pass to Gordon. Leonard with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's the Clippers. George is hammer it home! Hammer it home, baby!
That is authority right there.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
Here's Barton after the Clippers pick up 2. Down low, Batum with the steal. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go, all the way. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Well, that's about recognizing a transition opportunity when it presents itself. Nice job by Kawhi Leonard.
Gordon deciding where to go with it. To the inside, here's Green. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard might be quiet off the court, but on the court he makes a lot of noise.
The Nuggets trail by 13. Kicks it to Gordon. Campazzo, defended by George. To the paint, Batum with the steal. Leonard attacking, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to go on Will Barton.
One of the key aspects for Kawhi Leonard's scoring per game is his ability to get to the free throw line. This guy lives there.
Good on both.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
And so it's Los Angeles. Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 13 points and 2 rebounds. And that should...
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Paul George is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Batum. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Leonard in at the small forward position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college. But boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym, so he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to leave. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
And it's George finishing it off.
Well, there's superb shot selection right now with Paul George. He's aggressive, but he's still playing within the offense.
Murray dishes to Barton. Outside Gordon. The putback. Denver the rebound. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Such a savvy player. Love watching Jokic battle for positioning on the offensive glass.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Hands checked in. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And it's George missing. The Nuggets trail by 14. And now here comes Gordon leading the break. And it's Gordon finishing it off. And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Murray, the pass to Porter. Here's Murray up on top over George. Not as good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Murray. Flattening the lottery odds, Greg. Do you think that's worked out as intended?
You don't hear as many predictions about who's going to get the one pick or the second pick. I think that's good for the players and the fans. You don't want anyone rooting for you to lose.
No, absolutely not. Now here's Murray. He has 6. Right side, Porter. Inside, got a piece of it. Murray, the pass to McGee. Batum with the steal. Leonard kicks to George. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, I don't know that when he was selected 10th overall back in 2010, that the casual fan understood that Paul George would become one of the most effective two-way players in the NBA, but he's done just that.
The Nuggets trail by 15. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Luke Kennard, he's checked in for George. Porter finds Murray. Down low. It's stolen. On the wing, Jackson. He has 6. And JaMychal Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. It's Jackson with the drive. And that one, good.
And that defense wasn't enough on Jackson. He's clever and can shoot through that opposition.
Boy, Greg, there is a lot to like offensively for Luke Kennard.
I tell you, he can shoot it. He's a crafty finisher and really improving as a passer. The question mark is the defensive end. 6'5" in height and wingspan, not elite tool, so he's got to get by on his instincts and his anticipation. And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Here's Jackson. He's got 8. Millsap with the steal. And Porter pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
We've gotten used to Millsap's elite level defending, and there it was on display again. The steal leading to the fast break. Whether he's in the passing lanes or on the ball, he is a problem for the opposing offense.
Pass to Oturu. There's 45 seconds left to play here in the third. 6 to shoot. Here's Jackson. Rebound by the Nuggets. Murray outside. Feeds it to Millsap. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 5 assists tonight.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now Jackson. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Kennard. And the basket is good. Kennard's got his first points of the game.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. 13 points up at the end of the period. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And Denver will start the fourth quarter with Millsap and Jokic, the big men. Jamal Murray is out there with Will Barton, and it's Gordon in at the small forward. He dishes it to Millsap. Lob pass to Gordon.
And Millsap is a team player, someone who is very willing to make the right pass to an open teammate.
Outside Jackson. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Here's Murray, and it's sent back by Morris. And oh, here we go with Leonard, nobody back. And denied, he sends it right off the glass. Martin passes to Jokic. Gordon up on top. Back to Jokic. Gordon finds Jokic. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Just a positive force right now for these guys, and though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Outside Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard makes dunks look easy. That ball looks like a grapefruit in his hands.
Barton dishes to Murray. Back to Barton. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut to just 11 points in the basket from Murray.
What a terrific play by just a tremendous all-around player. This guy makes it look easy.
Passes it to Mann. And the Clippers call time here. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. The Nuggets making a switch here. Porter's checked in. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. He loves the aggressiveness on D. He said we're doing a great job of challenging everything they're trying to do. Stay active, talk to each other, don't let up. Kevin?
And George with the stuff.
What great body control from the all-star forward. Paul George, so skilled at keeping his composure under pressure.
Murray outside. To the middle from 10 feet out, and Jokic with the basket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got 6 assists here tonight. Rondo scanning the floor. Outside, George. 1:53 left in the fourth quarter. Three-pointer. The putback. It's good on the putback. And the Clippers lead by 13.
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Rondo. Batum with the ball. And it's Gordon picking him up. There's the pass to Rondo. And here's George for three. Here's Zubac outside for Rondo. On the wing, George. Zubac, the pass to Rondo. The deep three from George. There's a minute left in the fourth quarter of this one. Nailed from three-point land.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Los Angeles.
This is a game where the defense, steal specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created possessions for them, scoring opportunities, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory here tonight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Paul George.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
From deep, George. Martin with the rebound.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Wide open look here for Murray. Denver gets it back. Kicks it out to Gordon. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. Drilled from 11 feet out.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
The three from George. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's good.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
You're looking live and down at the Staples Center in downtown. And David.
Kevin, thanks.
He stays working and stays true. David, thank you. Looking now at the lineup for both teams tonight. Some names out of action.
And with both teams at less than full strength, we'll have to see which side is able to remain more effective.
The starters for the Portland Trail Blazers. They've got Jones. Enes Kanter is out there with Robert Covington. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Simons in at the 2 spot. And for Los Angeles, they've got Paul George. Batum is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Rondo in at the 1. From deep, George. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, an accurate three-point shooter. Paul George can get it going from distance.
Simons, the pass to Lillard. There's the 3. Kanter kicks to Lillard. Makes it off the glass. Lillard's got his second basket of the game.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Well, he's going to just keep going now. That's early confidence for him.
Now, here's George. That one's off. He's now 1 for 2. And now Portland on the break. Covington with the ball. A nice shot by Simons.
Good read there from Covington. Adept at realizing when to dish it to a teammate.
Rondo dishes to George. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he sees. Oh. Another reminder that Damian Lillard can be explosive, and we love it.
Outside Rondo. The pass to Batum. 5 to shoot. Here's George. And Kanter pulls it down. Trailblazers have gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Leonard with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up. Rondo with the ball. Here's Jones. And slammed in by Jones.
Good hands by Lillard. You cannot get lazy or he'll pick your pocket and go the other way.
High post, Zubac to the inside. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Now, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
And in a player empowerment era, no greater power move than Kawhi Leonard's last year. Fresh off a Finals MVP with the Raptors, he signed with his hometown Clippers and compelled a trade for Paul George.
Think about that 14-month run where Kawhi Leonard made his way to Toronto, a team that was on the cusp for many seasons, goes there, wins the MVP and a championship for the Raptors, and then ends up in his hometown of Los Angeles to try to do the same for the Clippers. Now that's getting it done and writing your own story.
The shot by Lillard wide open. No good from outside. Clippers trail by 3. To the middle. Here's George. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. George has got 9 points.
Not just the accuracy in the quarter, it's his movement and the energy that's getting him on this nice roll.
Lillard from outside. And the rebound goes to Rajon Rondo. Lays it in off the breakaway.
Great execution in the transition game. You can count on Rondo to run the break and find a way to capitalize.
Lillard against Leonard. Lillard misses.
Now that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Rondo and Kanter pulls it down. Portland's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Powell, he's checked in for Anthony Simons. And McCollum subbed in for Damian Lillard. Morris with the bucket.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
McCollum against Jackson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Using that lengthy frame right there to draw contact, McCollum really baits the defender into committing that foul.
Portland shooting their first free throws here tonight. A different look now for Portland. Enes Kanter's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Giles comes in for Anthony. And it's Simons in for Jones.
At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Powell, the pass to Simons. 4 seconds left. The 3 from McCollum. No good on the last second attempt there. Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. The Clippers on top, leading by... Damian Lillard told us before the game, when asked how he stays so grounded.
Humble begins. I'm from...
Well, some of the best stories in our league are about guys who struggled to get to where they are today.
And I really hope the young guys out there are listening to this. You don't have to be a 5-star prospect to achieve your dreams.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. Guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
I couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
They've got Patrick Patterson, Luke Kennard out there with Morris. And there's Jackson, and it's Mann in at the 2. They're the group out there for the Clippers starting the second quarter. A nice shot by Simons. Well, Greg, with your son getting drafted, you joined the ranks of some historic NBA father-son duos.
You know, I got the opportunity to play with Arvydas Sabonis in Portland, and remember DeMontis as a little kid. Now he's an all-star last year. And, you know, I think you're going to have an influx of that in the coming years. Dwayne Wade's son is a terrific player. We know about LeBron's son's ability. He's possibly heading to the league one day. You just never know. I'm as a dad, it's going to get the opportunity to watch his son play excited, but I think you're going to see more of this in the future.
Cole and Greg Anthony. I like the way that sounds. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Patterson against Kanter. Down low. A nice shot by Simons. Simons has got 6.
Like the execution there from Kanter. Usually likes to score, this time with the pass.
Pass to Patterson. Back to Jackson. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Patterson finds Kennard. Good.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Portland leading. McCollum deciding where to go with it. Inside. Kanter, the pass to Powell. They get it back. And here's McCollum for 3. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
To the paint. Here's Patterson. Over to the left wing. Kennard against Powell. Outside for Jackson. Clock at 4. Second chance shot. That one misses. Good work defensively by Anthony. Here's Simons. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Trailblazers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And the first one drops. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And then for the Trailblazers, Nurkic checked in for Enes Kanter. Robert Covington comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Damian Lillard in for C.J. McCollum. Clippers trail by 4. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Enes Kanter's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Giles comes in for Robert Covington. Norman Powell's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And McCollum subbed in for Lillard. The three from George. Good D by McCollum. Trailblazers leading by 4. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Batum. There's 1:54 left in the first half of the game. Giles the pass to Nurkic.
Because of Paul George's athleticism, he can do a lot of things. He turns guys over. He blocks shots. He's got great hands. He affects a lot defensively.
2 points. That one goes.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And the Croatian big man, Ivica Zubac, a big hip-hop fan. His teammates call him Zupac.
It's amazing that he was traded from the Lakers to the Clippers, so still home games here at Staples Center. Such a good player on the in-between game, weaving behind bodies to find some space, and CJ cashes in.
Rondo dishes to Batum. Pass to Rondo. Here's George. The shot comes out. Now Portland takes it the other way. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. Giles the pass to Pop. Back to Giles. Lays it up off the glass. Giles has got the lead up to 6 now for Portland.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
And a deep three from George. An absolute bomb from three-point range. George has got 12 points in the game. Here's Simons. He's covered by Rondo. To the inside. Powell. D that time from Leonard.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
And it'll go. And the Blazer lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Paul George. Simons surveying the D. Kicks it out to McCollum. And the layup falls. 9 points in the game so far.
Well, McCollum undersized at his position, at least in terms of his strength. But he can play that way because he competes. That's a tough one there.
Here's George. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you enjoyed the first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. At its highest, their lead topped out at 5 points. And that's...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure Coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Portland, we've got Robert Covington. He's out there with Derek Jones. Enes Kanter is out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Simons in at the 2-guard spot. And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. It's a 3-point game. And McCollum with the block. And it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here. Clippers with the ball. Rondo passes to Zubac. Jones against Leonard. Over Jones.
Not been an easy start. 3 straight misses here on these possessions. Not sure they realize it's not halftime anymore. 4 attempts, and they're still looking for their first bucket.
And here's McCollum for 3. The Trailblazers with a new shot clock. And that one's on target from the wing. McCollum's got the first field goal of the second half for the Trailblazers. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. George missing again.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles, and stolen by Lillard. And it's McCollum off the drive. Here's Jones, and it's slammed in by Jones.
I know CJ plays the 2-guard position alongside Lillard, but he does have point guard vision, and that's a great find.
McCollum against George. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That's on Enes Kanter. Greg, you're the all-time assist leader for the Big West Conference. In that frame, talk about some of the traits that make for a good floor general, a good point guard, a good facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have to be a leader because that's what the position calls for. Unselfishness, instincts, that stuff matters. But ultimately, your teammates got to feel like you played for them. And that's when you have a chance as a team to be special.
I'm assuming you've always been like that. Am I correct?
No, that is not
really?
true.
Wow.
I evolved into a leader. In all seriousness, I think some guys are natural. Others, like myself, had to evolve into it.
Well, Patterson being a little more assertive in the offense here tonight, ready to shoot that time off the direct pass.
Lillard against Jackson. The 3. And with the rebound. Clippers trail by 4. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got his first points in this one.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Lillard attacking, and then Lillard slams it in.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Nurkic checked in for the Trailblazers. Norman Powell comes in for McCollum. 1:44 left in the third quarter. Nurkic in the post. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Nurkic is a double-double machine every night. There's not a lot of teams right now that are equipped on their roster to handle the kind of size that Nurkic can bring.
For the Trailblazers, Giles checked in for Robert Covington. Little comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Simons in for Lillard. Here's Jackson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And what a resilient finish from Jackson there inside. I love how he just refuses to back down.
Here's Powell. Here's Giles. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And here is Los Angeles now. Clippers trail by 4. Here's Kennard. And the shot goes in.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson. Using his poise and vision to make a play.
For Los Angeles, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws. So those are numbers you'll be happy with.
Here's Nurkic. Morris with the rebound. LA has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. For the lead, pass to Kennard. Jackson up top, tipped away. He dishes it to Morris. Jackson deciding where to go with it. To the middle. Nurkic with the block.
At 7 feet tall, Nurkic, not easy to get around. That time throws that one away.
And Simons has got the ball here for Portland. And it's sent back by Morris.
And a rare block shot from Morris. Anticipates the move and just times it out perfectly.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Portland leading. Jackson is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Batum in at the power forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. And he knocks down the first one. So he gets them both.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
The Clippers shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Portland on defense. 3-point lead. Zubac the pass to George. And that one, good.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Lillard against Leonard. Lillard attacking, and it goes down 2 points. And the Trailblazers lead by 3.
One thing about Lillard is he can go with either hand when he's attacking the rim, and that makes it very difficult to defend.
Zubac. That shot, no good. Excellent D there from Anthony. Simons, the pass to Nurkic. Anthony with it. George picks him up. Anthony kicks to Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. And good that time.
Consistent and accurate from that particular spot on the floor. The offense kind of predicts those shots. Lillard's got a good eye for the mid-range.
George looking over the floor. Portland grabs the miss. Kanter's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Simons the pass to Kanter. Here's Lillard. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Here's George. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. George has got 20 points.
Yeah, it was weird because it looked like the defense was ready for the move, but Paul George had a little something extra for him.
The offensive rebound. Kanter dishes to Nurkic and finished off by Nurkic.
Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
The deep 3 from George. George missing again.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-ups, so maybe just a step too far.
Lillard attacking, and Lillard throws it down.
He's just such a dynamite scorer, and for 82 games of a regular season, Lillard's in attack mode.
Right side, George. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. A different look now for Portland. Robert Covington comes in for Yusuf Nurkic. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Anthony Simons. Lillard against Leonard. Lillard outside. Buries it from 3-point range. And now it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead. You know, Greg, you'd probably know as well as anyone, what was it like going up against the Bulls in the 90s?
You know, it's weird to say, but in a lot of ways, we were a lot like they were. Hall of Fame talent at the coach, a defensive-minded team, but the one difference was, you know, the Bulls had that guy that wore that number 23. I think I'd say that might have been the one difference.
1:39 left in the 4th quarter, but they'll get another chance. The Clippers running out of time. The deep three from George. The pass to Zubac. To stop the run. And George is good for three. George has got 23 points.
Well, Paul George is tall, as he got that length, but he also has a high release point, so that helps him get a few more shots off without the contest bothering him.
And it's Rondo with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Rondo. George has got 12 points in just the second half. Lillard scanning the floor. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
And as a defender, you are left somewhat helpless to stop that. Leonard with too many moves in his arsenal and a flood of ice water in his veins.
Lillard, the pass to Cannon. Back to Lillard, takes the three, and he's good on the three ball.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
There's 14 seconds left in the game. Clock at 6. On deep. So the Trailblazers win it. A narrow. David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks. The view high above our broadcast location tonight, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And with tip-off.
Kevin, thank you.
Indeed, something special, David. Thanks. Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. They've got Richardson. Marjanovic is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Doncic, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 spot. And for Los Angeles, Paul George is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Batum. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Zubac in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Richardson the pass to Marjanovic. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Deep benches tonight, Greg, on both sides. This seems to be a growing trend.
You know, teams are digging deeper than ever before, even getting into the two-way contracts that give you depth past your top 15 guys. One, you're trying to protect the investment in your big-ticket items, your franchise-caliber players, but you got to keep an eye on the future in terms of player development. That's another area where the league has really changed when you look at the makeup of these rosters.
Well said. Doncic with it. Pass to Richardson. Over Rondo. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Rondo kicks to George. From deep. Mavericks with the rebound.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Marjanovic against George. Finney-Smith passes to Marjanovic. And now Batum pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And that one's good. Leonard.
One of the more physical wings in the league. Kawhi gets smacked there, but not to be denied.
Doncic looking it over. Pass to Richardson. Now Marjanovic. It's hauled in by Zubac. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Like a gazelle cruising down the court, Kawhi's difficult to stay with in transition.
Up top, Doncic. Inside, stolen by Zubac. Here's George. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. George has got his second basket.
Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
And there's the pass to Finney-Smith. Down low. Kicks it out to Richardson. Shot clock at 5. Can they get it? And that's 2 points on the layup.
Very good at working off the pick and roll. Josh getting all the separation he needs.
And Greg, Josh Richardson's a terrific ball handler out on the wing who can create for others.
Richardson gets a lot of assists per game at that wing position, not just looking to finish plays, but also to create for others. Very well-rounded threat on the offensive end, and that gives this team another dimension in terms of playmaking.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in for George. Cauley Stein kicks to Redick. Passes it to Powell. Back to Redick. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
It can be a little disheartening when you do everything right and come away with nothing.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
Runs in the pass to Powell, and he makes good on the layup.
Nice job. Those passes have to be right on the money around the painted area.
Outside Jackson. Inside. And the layup's good off the glass.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint. Stolen
by Jackson. to the paint. Here's Coffey. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Tim Hardaway picks one up.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
He misses the free throw.
At the line for two.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. Mavericks trail by 8. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and Cauley Stein throws it down.
You just throw it up there. Trill Will's going to take care of the rest.
Redick against Jackson. Rebounded by Hardaway.
Meeting right at the rim. He typically converts in those situations. Not this time.
Runs in the pass to Cauley Stein. Hardaway with a wide open look. No good on the three. Here's the Clippers. They're on a 14-6 run. And Morris throws it down.
Nice find by Luke. Shows good vision in both half court and in transition.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Runs in the pass to Powell. Feeds it to Cauley Stein. Banked in off the glass.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Outside Jackson with 4 seconds on the clock. And he lays it up and in.
The way he glides around the court doesn't look like Jackson is moving as fast as he really is.
And we reach the end of the first quarter. Clippers ahead. They lead by 8. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And catching up with Luke Kennard.
This game, it's...
You know this. It takes time mentally for the game to slow down.
It's a great point. This is why most championship teams are laden with seasoned veterans. You can't rush experience. It happens at its own pace.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
You know this, the team that dictates the pace typically rules the roost. We see that here early on.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Dallas, we've got Tim Hardaway Jr. J.J. Redick is out there with Jalen Brunson. Then there's Dwight Powell, and it's Cauley Stein in at the 5. Here's Redick. No good, shot missing. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. Here's Kennard. The shot's good. Kennard's got the lead up to 14 now for the Clippers.
I like when Reggie Jackson is seeking out his teammates. He could have took that shot, but his teammate, he was wide open.
Brunson kicks to Cauley Stein. Powell trying to free himself up. Dallas again missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And so they foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. The Mavericks pull it in.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Richardson kicks to Porzingis. Dallas moving it around. Reggie, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. And if you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in is their defensive approach.
Marjanovic passes to Doncic. From 13 feet, it goes down.
And love how much Doncic believes in himself. It shows when he shoots off the pass like that.
And George, here we go. The shot that time, not on target. Mavericks trail by 12, and he commits the intentional foul. And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game. And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, defensively, your mantra at this point has to be no easy buckets.
To the inside, Leonard, and the rejection by Marjanovic. Now the Mavericks moving it up. Porzingis passes to Doncic. Over Rondo. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits.
And guys, even though he's in a big market, Kawhi Leonard still
hammering it in.
Insane move by Paul George, a high flyer who can create in midair.
Doncic outside to the middle, and the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
And when you're trying to cut into a lead, you can ill afford mistakes like that.
You know what it is, a lack of concentration. That's a momentum killer.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dwight Powell comes in for Marjanovic. Hardaway is subbed in for Dorian Finney-Smith.
And great steal and look ahead there. Compared to most guys his age, Doncic sees the game at another level. Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
A uncontested shot at the rim, you have to compete at all times.
Kicks it out to Richardson. The feed to Powell. From the right block, the shot is good.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Rondo against Richardson. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That's his first foul. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Outside, George. And the rejection by Cauley-Stein.
Should better come stronger than that. Cauley-Stein, a presence defensively.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Substitution for Mavericks.
In the corner, Powell with it. Three-pointer on the way. And that does it for the first half of play.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, Kent, the Clippers have the edge here at halftime. They lead by 10. Shaq, what was your... Thanks for joining.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Without question, George is displaying his skills today.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
And it's not like everything's been at the rim. There's been a number of jump shots along the way.
Batuma's out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue. 4 on the clock. Porzingis with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 10 to the paint. And a slam dunk by Richardson.
Josh Richardson with an athletic play at the rim. It's all about making sure you get a quality look, and that's one.
Outside, George. And it's George finishing it off.
And with those long strides, it takes Paul George no time to get to the rim.
Dallas shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Doncic outside. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in.
And he's capable of scoring from anywhere, really. Doncic has a strong grasp here of the mid-range.
Over in the corner, Batum. Pass to Zubac. Outside Rondo. Here's Leonard. And the rejection by Marjanovic. On the wing, Doncic. Defended by Batum. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Doncic.
3 straight to begin this half. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
And it was interesting how the Dallas franchise sold its fans on Doncic. Ownership told them, think of a 6'7" Steve Nash. Isn't quite the shooter Steve was, but is only a teenager. Great vision, boy, he can really pass it. And it turns out Doncic is all of that and more.
Shaky start to the half. Going 1 for 4. Still trying to find that groove.
And you can tell that Doncic loves leaking out. They're able to get to the right spot there in transition.
Zubac. Here's the 3. A shot by Batum. No good. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. And the shot goes down. Powell's got 6. And even Nash himself called Doncic a dream prospect.
Yeah, it said Luka was big and mobile enough in the modern game, can guard multiple positions, has a skill set, a winning mentality, and those leadership qualities. Steve Nash sounding like a future GM. And at his peak, Reggie Jackson is one of the better guards in the league. He's still got that confidence.
Yes, he does. Injuries slowed him down, but still able to create his shot anytime he wants. You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
Brunson kicks to Hardaway. Pass to Pop. Dishes it to Cauley-Stein. 1:46 left here in the third quarter. Off with the layup. And here they go. Morris with the bucket. And the Clippers lead by 5.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Dallas moving the ball around. Brunson with a clean look. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Jackson. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Aggressive on the drive. That's going to result in some free throws for Jackson.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1. Jackson hits both of them. And so it's Dallas with it, trailing by 5. Jackson against Brunson. On the wing, Hardaway. Back to Brunson. Lays it up and banks it in. Brunson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate. The drive by Jackson. Mavericks with the rebound. Redick finds Cauley-Stein. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And Cauley-Stein so explosive around the rim. Hard to defend without fouling.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And so he hits both. Los Angeles has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Jackson against Brunson. Morris outside. Back to Jackson. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Jackson's got 13.
That is a powerful point guard right there. Reggie converting against very tight defense.
The deep three from Redick. Oh, he made it!
He got it to go, and he beat the buzzer.
Wow. That's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think that shot had any chance of going in. Just shows you that anything can happen in this game.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. On the floor for Dallas, Marjanovic is out there with Powell. Then there's Doncic. Then it's Josh Richardson. And it's Finney Smith in at the small forward. Doncic passes to Richardson. Here's Marjanovic. Shot clock at 6. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Marjanovic has got the lead up to 2 now for Dallas.
Give Josh credit, taking the challenge offensively, discipline, and that's a beautiful pass.
Rondo kicks to George. Oturu, great positioning on the putback. Oturu's got it all tied up now for the Clippers.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Dallas making a switch here. Porzingis is checked in. And it's the Mavericks with the ball. Here's Doncic. Richardson right side. And the pass to Finney Smith. Porzingis against Batum. Nice shot by Porzingis.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
It's the fourth quarter, and it's a close game. You want to get the ball to someone you can rely on.
Here's George. Fouled on the shot and pitched. And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
And the Clippers making a change here. Zubac is checked in. Out to Porzingis. It's Richardson on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Leonard with the steal. George with the ball. He's picked up by Doncic. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. And George, here we go. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. It's on Porzingis.
Smooth off the bounce with the strength to finish through contact. Paul George showing us how it's done.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Back to Doncic. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. That one good for 2.
And certainly not lacking in confidence. When Doncic gets these inside looks, he just jumps all over.
Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Big points as the stakes rise, so does George's impact on the game.
Doncic outside. He feeds it to Cauley-Stein. Out to Doncic. Richardson outside. Just 5 to shoot. Outside Hardaway. He's looking for Leonard and finds him. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Rondo with the ball.
One of the more instinctive passes over the last decade. Rondo quickly locates the open man.
Doncic with it. He's picked up by Rondo. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. on the Mavericks with some changes. Marjanovic comes in for Willie Cauley-Stein, and Dorian Finney-Smith subbed in for Hardaway.
How about the poise from Doncic right there? He ups the ante when it's a critical possession here in the game.
In the corner, George with it. 1:24 left to play here in the fourth. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That'll be his second foul of the game. Mavericks on D. It's a 5-point game. Passes it to Leonard. 6 to shoot. The shot by George, no good. And so Doncic will bring it up for Dallas. A pass to Porzingis. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And with that unique combination of size and skill, Porzingis is a dependable late-game scoring option.
Rondo passes to George. It's good.
No moment is ever too big for Paul George. He remains confident in the clutch.
41 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Doncic. Pass to Finney-Smith. And here is Marjanovic. Dallas needs to get off a shot. The 11-footer, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. J.J. Redick's checked in for Richardson. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Doncic with the steal. Now here's Redick, the fast break opportunity. Marjanovic finds Doncic. Money!
Incredible. Doncic decides he wants to take over, and that's his personality. He comes up with the goods on that one. And it's all about the three right here.
And they're looking to tie it up, live to play another period. We'll see what they run right here.
Really unacceptable letting Porzingis get that kind of positioning. Once he's established, it's over.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
That's why you want him at the line when the game is close. He knows how to deliver in the clutch.
And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
J.J. Redick, not only one of the most dangerous shooters in this league, he's worked to become a very good team defender as well.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2.
The all-around game Paul George possesses is so special. His versatility is what makes him so valuable.
And the Mavericks call time here. They trail by 3. 1 second left here in the fourth quarter. Let's present our New Balance player of the game, Paul George.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
So it's Los Angeles taking the W. And all right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Over the land of the free.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to... And a look at the status here of both teams' injured players and who will not be in the lineup.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Rajon Rondo. And it's Leonard in at the 3, the small forward. And for Denver, they've got Michael Porter. Aaron Gordon out there with Jokic. Then it's Will Barton. And it's Murray in at the 1 spot. Here's Rondo. Porter with a block.
And, you know, as he learns the game at this level, he's going to block more shots. Porter has the length and the ability to move his feet.
Now here's Gordon. Back to Barton.
I wouldn't say that's exactly his spot now. I mean, and you can see why.
And, guys, if there's an X factor for this Nuggets team moving forward, it might be the young man, Michael Porter Jr. Talk about his potential. It could be as high as anybody on that roster.
Yeah, I concur with you there, Greg. I mean, you look at this kid, he's got a great shooting touch and really good scoring instincts that you don't see very often. Extremely gifted. They brought him along slowly, which is the wise thing to do. And if he can come on and realize his potential, he could take him to another level for sure.
George. And it's George finishing it off.
Great speed displayed by George on his way to the bucket. Devastating to the defense with those dunking skills of his.
Barton dishes to Murray. Back to Barton. And Barton throws it down.
Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher.
Well, and that's exactly how the game is played in the paint inside, guys. I mean, if you can play over the top, I think you've got a big advantage.
And it's George missing.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
The kick out to Barton. Back to Gordon. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Now, you got to remember, Barton isn't just a scorer. This guy is also superb at finding open teammates.
Barton against George. Porter pulls it in. The Nuggets have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Barton passes to Porter. Lob pass to Gordon. Batum with the steal. The shot by George, wide open. George missing again.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Jokic kicks to Barton. Back to Jokic. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2. Greg, you've always said to have a winning team, you need franchise players. Talk about the specific qualities you look for in those superstars that can catapult a team to greatness.
It's a great question, Kevin. Talent really isn't enough. You know, whether you lead vocally or by example, the agenda has to be winning, and your best players really define who your team is going to be. So the franchise caliber player is a much needed asset.
It's stolen by Rondo. George against Porter. George, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Barton finds Murray. Here's Jokic from 13. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Jokic has got 6.
Jokic has such nice instincts for a big guy. Knows exactly when to shoot off the catch.
And here's George for 3. No good.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Murray, the pass to Jokic. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
And for Jokic, a slow start to last season, came in heavy, lost over 20 pounds as he played his way into shape. And boy, did he come on strong down the stretch.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And Jokic drops them both.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Here's Jackson. Up and in on the layup.
The quickness of Reggie Jackson, terrific. Superb at slicing apart the defense with his drives to the rack.
Campazzo, guarded by Jackson. The rebound by Patterson. Clippers trail by 4. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Kennard's shot is off. For Denver, they've gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. In the corner, Murray with it. Jokic on top. Here's Millsap. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow!
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock.
And so it's Denver with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. And we'll be back with
the mentality of how we play, how we move the ball.
Greg, sounds like something a coach would say.
It's probably something his coach has said time and time again. But Murray's really matured into a reliable, sometimes spectacular performer for this team.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Nuggets.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
They've got JaVale McGee. Green is out there with Paul Millsap. Then there's Murray. That's the group for Denver getting going here in the second. McGee with the block.
Yeah, if you had to pick the top priority for McGee, I think that's it. Contest shots, block shots, get in the air, use that length to deny shots at the rim.
Campazzo, and the layup's good off the glass.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Right side Jackson. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes. Can find the creases with that handle.
Denver with the ball, leading by 5. Now the pass to Murray. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And, you know, with his size and presence in the post, McGee has a lot of value on the offensive glass.
Here's Jackson. McGee with the block. And here is Murray. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Kennard with the rebound. Clippers trail by 7. Here we go, one-on-one. Morris with the bucket.
And the powerful frame of Morris, difficult to knock him off his rhythm, and there finishing through the contact.
Pass to McGee. Outside Millsap. The dish to McGee. 5 on the clock. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Oturu, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Cross contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line. So we'll see Paul Millsap go to the line here. Marcus Morris picks one up there. And the Nuggets with some changes. Gordon's checked in for JaVale McGee. Porter comes in for JaMychal Green. And Barton subbed in for Murray. Hey, Greg, if you could coach one team right now, who would it be?
That's a tough one. Clippers, Lakers, Bucks. You know what? I would probably go Lakers or Bucks because you would have an opportunity to coach someone who arguably might be considered the best to ever play the game. Because I think Giannis is trending in that direction, and LeBron obviously already is.
How about a guy like Kemba Walker and coaching the Celtics, having him to do what you want to do on the floor?
Oh, he'd be brilliant. And
yeah.
Kemba, one of the most underrated leaders in our game. Great, great human being.
And that was a great replay we just saw of our Mobile One block.
And you can see the mindset he has. When the game's this close, he's going to bring it at that end of the floor.
Jokic, he's checked in for Paul Millsap. Intercepted. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, I tell you what, George has tremendous bounce ability. It's always fun to see him launch and throw it down.
We've got 1:18 left to play in the first half. Back to Jokic. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And mark that one down right there. It's going to be a long time until we see him miss another one like that.
Here's George, and it's sent back by Jokic.
Need more of this from Jokic. When he's active on defense, he's a capable shot blocker.
Gordon dishes to Barton. Campazzo passes it to Jokic. A second chance effort, and he gets the jumper to drop. Jokic has got 10 points.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Kicks to Porter. Campazzo, he's covered by Leonard. Porter passes to Barton. 6 on the shot clock. Shot on the wing. Kept alive.
You can't afford to lose sight of Jokic, not even for a second. This guy's always a threat to hurt you on the offensive boards.
And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first quarter was all about Nikola Jokic. He had 12 points. And fellas, Jamal. And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Jokic in this game, he has been everywhere.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's doing exactly what he has to do. Using his body, shaking off contact, and then finishing at the rim.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. That's Rajon Rondo. And it's George in at the 2 spot. Back to Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 4th assist in this one.
Well, you got to do more than that to stop Jokic. I mean, this guy is a master at converting through tough defense.
Looking to get it going. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. For Los Angeles, they have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game. That free throw good from George.
And, you know, the versatile George does so many things well. High-octane player who I think gives you intensity at both ends of the court.
Denver leading by 6. Murray kicks to Jokic. Gordon inside. Defended by Batum. Count it. Gordon's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Left side, George.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Floats it up for Jokic. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Boy, Jokic always in sync with his teammates, which is part of why he's able to put together these highlight reel sequences.
And drafted with the 41st pick back in 2014. How about this? Jokic, the definition of a sleeper pick. He was actually asleep when the Nuggets drafted him.
The story goes on that his brother called him up trying to congratulate him, and Nico hung up in his face. How about that? Didn't hear the news until the next morning. He certainly has a different way of going about things, but there's no denying he's got a lot of game, and it's fun to watch. Well, I like the athleticism of Murray, just taking off towards the rim for the jam.
The 3 from George. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. George has got 11 points.
And, you know, after starting 0 for 3 this half, they finally get one down.
Porter kicks to Murray. Down low. Here's Jokic. Again, the Nuggets score.
Well, he's been a rock of offensive support so far, and when they've needed a basket, they've turned to him.
And George, here we go. And that one drops. 13 points in the game.
Boy, how about the deceptive strength of George fending off the defense exceedingly well there and taking the ball strong to the rack.
Murray finds Barton. Back to Murray. Pass to Gordon. Now here's Barton. He's covered by Rondo. Barton passes to Jokic. Takes the 13-footer. The shot, no good. Clippers trail by 9. And there's Paul George on the assist by Batum.
And this is one of George's main strengths, a phenomenal mid-range scorer.
Murray dishes to Gordon. Back to Murray. Stolen by George. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. And it's George finishing it off.
I tell you what, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense like that.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And it's McGee slamming it down.
I think McGee's been working on that one. I mean, you don't just come up with that off the top of your head, boy. You got to think that one through.
Left side, Jackson. Here's Oturu. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on JaVale McGee.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for the Denver Nuggets. There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Coffey. Bucket is good.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Murray surveying the D. And it's good, 2 points. Murray's got 4 points in the quarter.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Count it, and the Nugget lead has been cut back down to 3 on the basket from Jackson.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Murray outside. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. The Nuggets on top. They lead by 3. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. The Nuggets leading by 3. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. So out there for the Nuggets right now, they've got Jamal Murray. JaVale McGee is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Green. The Clippers shooting at 46%, making some buckets. It's Jackson with the drive. Green with the block. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. So both teams changing it up here. Here's Mann. Martin defending. Mann can't hit. Denver shooting so well, the offensive execution has been brilliant. 66% from the field. Here's Gordon. And the layup falls. Gordon's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Denver.
And Gordon is a guy who's used to being bodied. I mean, he just kind of plays through it, shrugging off the contact and ignoring it, really.
Jackson drives in, lays it up off the glass.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Well, you don't want to give him any open shots at this stage. Never mind a layup. Come on now. My goodness.
Back to Murray. Dishes it to Green. Goes back up. And the layup is up and in. And the Nuggets lead by 5.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating. I mean, you got to get in there and get tough.
And after defending on the shot, he doesn't give up on the play. Follow that straight to the glass for the rebound.
Here's Barton. And the bank shot is good. And it's a 7-point Nugget lead.
Very reliable scoring close to the basket. Barton, somebody you have to defend at all times.
Here's Jackson. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Patterson's got his first 2 points.
Excellent awareness of where to be on the offensive boards. He did it with great position.
For the Nuggets, Jokic comes in for Green, and Porter subbed in for Paul Millsap. Murray outside. Here's Gordon. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
Yeah, they collect one there, but overall, -10 rebounding for the game.
And you wonder why they're losing big? Well, wonder no more. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there, partner.
And get a low back move. We don't get to see plays like that very often.
No, we don't. Sailing in off the baseline for the reverse stuff.
That was special order delivery there, guys. What a dunk.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Patterson's checked in. Barton kicks to Murray. To the inside. Here's Gordon. The pass to Jokic. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
Easy to understand why they turn to Jokic in these situations. He has a knack for cashing in on big possession.
And stolen by Murray. Floats it up for Jokic. And Jokic throws it down.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think the pass was even better. I mean, that was room service delivery at its finest. Hey, when you've got a player like George, in these moments, you turn to him. He knows how to deliver in the clutch.
Barton finds Murray. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th. At 6. Jokic passes to Barton. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Jokic with the bucket.
Boy, it's a joy to see Jokic get the hot hand. A very efficient, multi-talented scorer. Knows how to dial it up a notch when he needs to.
George, no good.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
Murray against Leonard. Murray dishes to Porter. Pass to Jokic. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And now a 9-point Nugget lead.
You know, you never know what Jokic is going to do because he's so unpredictable when he's working in the screen and roll. And because of Paul George's composure and even-keeled nature, his teammates have great trust in him in these situations.
Martin passes to Jokic. Here's Murray. He's covered by Leonard. Tries from 10. Murray, no good.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Rondo kicks to Leonard.
And guys, that's the man you want with the ball in his hands on that critical possession. Kawhi being his best in the biggest moment.
Barton, no luck. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. Good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Shot after shot, one after the other. PG, Paul George, making it happen.
Here's Murray, and that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, no way that should have taken so long. They don't have that much time to waste. They need to foul immediately.
And, you know, early on, Murray has proven to be an impressive scorer. Now he just needs to improve as a passer and defender. I think it's a wrap. When the game's on the line, he knows how to deliver the crushing blow.
So it's the Nuggets taking the W in a close one. It was a fantastic. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up. The drama will up. Welcome to 2K Sports for another payday.
Kevin, thanks very much.
Portland is indeed one of the great cities in the NBA. David, thank you. And the Clippers starting five. Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. And it's Mann in at the point guard. And for Portland, we've got Damian Lillard. Robert Covington out there with Jones. Then it's Enes Kanter. And it's Simons in at the shooting guard. Now Leonard. After the miss, three from Damian Lillard. And Covington sends it back. Lillard, the pass to Kanter. It's not going to go for him. Great D that time from Leonard. Here's George. Good work defensively by Jones.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
And Lillard gets it to go.
Terrific floor awareness. I mean, it's obvious Covington has a great feel for when his teammates are wide open.
The shot by George, wide open. But they get it back. Mann passes to Batum. And foul on the... And, yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Now, here's Kanter. Shot clock at 5. Lillard attacking, and Damian Lillard with the jam.
Once Lillard hits the ground running, he's ready to throw it down. The D has got to step in front of him to prevent that.
The three from George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Kanter. An outstanding defensive play to earn the Mobile One block.
And early in a game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone.
And so just over a minute and a half played. And George, here we go. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Lillard with it. There's the three. Got a piece of it.
And Batum has arms that go on forever and ever and ever, which is why he's so dangerous when it comes to shot block.
Outside, George. And the pass to Leonard. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Three-pointer. Again, the miss by Lillard. LA's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Zubac's the pass to George. And George with the stuff.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
Here's Simons. Basket counts. No doubt, Greg, you were known being a gritty, in-your-face defender. And when you think of the most hard-nosed point guards in the NBA today, who comes to mind?
For me, I think Chris Paul. I go first because this guy, one, he's a phenomenal two-way player. He'll do whatever it takes to win, even if that means pushing the envelope a little bit. Pat Beverly is another guy, just a flat-out bulldog. Marcus Smart, I think, falls into that category. Again, it's not always about being the most talented, but if you bring an edge about you, that really permeates throughout your team. So those are some guys. Drew Holiday is another guy I'd throw into that mix as well.
Yeah, they all lock in. You're right. The Clippers have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Cantor. Anthony comes in for Derek Jones. Powell, he's checked in for Anthony Simons. And McCollum subbed in for Damian Lillard. And so it's Covington who brings up the ball for the Portland Trailblazers, trailing by 4. Count that one.
Realizing when the defenders have overcommitted, like how Nurkic looks to hit the open man. Well, Melo made his way back into the league last season. He was immediately a heavy minutes player for the Blazers. Looked good as a third scoring option for the team.
Here's George. Drops in the layup for 2. George has got 8.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And the basket by McCollum.
A lethal shooter from downtown. McCullough, he enjoys opportunities to pull the trigger.
Rondo dishes to Morris. On the wing, George. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Yusuf Nurkic. And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
Free throw shooting, not an area he has worried about at all. How about last year? 88% from the line.
So for the Trailblazers, Enes Kanter comes in for Yusuf Nurkic. And Giles is subbed in for Robert Covington.
His free throw shooting is something they never need to worry about. He doesn't even know how to go through a cold streak.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
McCollum, no good. Back to Kanter. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
He's one of the best per-minute rebounders in the game. Kanter gets a lot of his points this way.
Jackson looking it over. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
McCollum outside. Yes, that goes in.
McCullough is fantastic at running the screen and roll. He knows how to use the pick to get space to shoot.
Jackson from long range. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Clippers lead by 1. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Paul.
Everybody has a chip on their shoulder. Everybody.
Greg, that last point is key. This team plays lockdown defense.
And that's a big part of their identity. Most teams talk about being well balanced. This team lives it.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
They've gotten to the line with tremendous consistency here through the first period.
Yeah, I like the attitude they've shown coming in here. I mean, really applying pressure and trying to give this crowd nothing to cheer about.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the Trailblazers, they've got Enes Kanter. Norman Powell is out there with C.J. McCollum. Then it's Anthony, and it's Nurkic in its center, locking down the middle.
Oh, I love to see the bigs who run the floor on fast breaks. Kanter typically plays with a high activity level.
On the wing, Jackson is over Powell. Kennard, the pass to Jackson. Back to Kennard. And Anthony sends it back. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Lillard's checked in for the Trailblazers. The Clippers also making some changes. Zubac is checked in for Patterson. Batum comes in for Marcus Morris. And Kawhi Leonard subbed in for Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, I love the court awareness from Kawhi there. Dependable at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Lillard against Leonard, and the basket is good. Lillard's got 6 points.
Yeah, he doesn't play around. If the bucket's there for him, he's going to get it.
Powell with the steal. And oh, here we go. Lillard's got it, the fast break chance. Lets the three fly. Anthony kicks to Lillard. For three. The Clippers grab the miss. Zubac has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
It tells you a little something about their team. They've been able to pull in front despite his struggles tonight.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Oh, you know what it is. One play at a time. That's got to be the mindset, especially in such a tight game.
And it's Rondo in the corner. Shoots over Lillard. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
That's high-quality defense right there. Reading the situation, reacting, and making that a very tough jump shot.
Lets it go from 14. It's hauled in by Zubac.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that. Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Powell finds Anthony. And here we go. Clippers running again. Leonard with no one around. And a miss there on the triple. Trailblazers trail by 3. And McCollum the bucket on the assist by Anthony. 7 points in the game.
This guy's just a gamer. McCollum, I mean, he really embraces taking on the defense and finding a way to finish.
Rondo passes to Zubac. Kicks it out to Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Now here's Powell. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. There's Nurkic putting it right back in.
Well, a big reason Nurkic impacts games is for that ability right there. Staying active on the glass at both ends, converting the second chances.
Nurkic with the block. One-on-one here. Here's McCollum. Got it. Good job in the low post. McCollum's got 9.
His teammates keep getting him the ball in his favorite spots. He's done a lot for his shooting percentage.
Lillard against Rondo. Lays it up and banks it in.
For a guy that simply brings toughness to the hardwood, Rondo, he isn't bothered by a little contact.
Lillard against Leonard. And the basket by Lillard. 8 lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
And I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
Rondo against McCollum. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And having a floor general like Rondo on the court instantly elevates your offense. He does everything he can to bring out the best in his team.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Enes Kanter's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Robert Covington comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for C.J. McCollum. And the basket by Lillard.
D has got to do a better job clogging up drops to the rim. Lillard is a terror when it comes to driving the shot.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. George, that's a two-pointer, and that's basket number 4. He's taken 9 shots to this point. Trailblazers have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. Rondo against Lillard. Just 3 on the clock, and Damian Lillard with the jam.
Lillard is capable of getting up to slamming home. You got to keep him out of the paint.
And so it's Damian Lillard making things happen for the Portland. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He had 12 points and 2 rebounds. This has been a bounce back. And
we've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. One guy who's getting it done is Lillard.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's man in at the 1 spot. Here's Simons. Paul George making his last shot. Inside, cuts off the pass. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And finished off by Leonard.
And busting it up the floor. Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't lack, it's hustle.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 12. Outside, George. Offline with his 3.
Defensive breakdown. And they can't capitalize. He'll hit that shot almost every time.
And he wanted everybody in the building to feel that ferocity.
And we did. Yeah. And we felt it. Even over here, we felt it. Here's George. He's got 14. And Jones pulls it down. The 17-footer. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Punishing the rim there. When George makes up his mind he's going to dunk it, there is not much you can do.
Lillard against Leonard. Here's Cantor. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Cantor's got 4 this quarter. Greg, you and I have talked about how the NBA Finals used to be tape delayed. What's the value of fans getting to see the broadcast live now as opposed to tape delayed as it was back in the 70s?
Isn't that weird to even think that that's the case?
I know
but,
it.
You know, I think, Kev, that the fans, they just feel more connected to their favorite teams, the end players. It creates more anxiety, right? Because nowadays there's nothing that can happen that you don't know about it, whether you see it or not. So live sports, especially the NBA Finals, the anticipation, that anxiety that we talked about, man, I'm still a fan to this day in a different way. So I can only imagine when you have a personal vested interest in the team, what that's got to feel like.
Edge of your seat, you're right. And Jones with the stuff.
The movement off the ball is good. I mean, and the pass to hit him in stride is even better.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Nurkic checked in for Cantor. Carmelo Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Norman Powell's checked in for Anthony Simons. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Lillard. And then for Los Angeles, Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Jackson in for George. And the Clippers making a change here. Rondo's checked in. And a chance there to look back at the stunning mobile 1 block a moment ago.
And those are plays that get you in front and keep you in front.
Now here's Leonard. He's got 8, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
What strength from Leonard there, not allowing the defense to get the best of it.
We've got 1:55 left in the third. Clippers trail by 3. Jackson has the open look. Leonard. It's good on the putback.
I mean, he's been terrific from the field so far this half. I mean, driving his percentage through the roof.
And they go to the intentional foul. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Simons is checked in. Powell for 3. No good that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Kennard, the pass to Patterson. Gets a hand on it, controls the rebound, and puts it back up and in. Oturu's got his first bucket in this one. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
Passes to Nurkic. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Here's Jackson, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Jackson's got 6 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Simons surveying the D. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Unhindered, going all the way. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, look at Morris, just using that big body of his to draw contact. The defense has a tough time matching up with him.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. 41 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Simons. It's Reggie Jackson with the rebound.
I love to see the defense exhibit some passion in protecting the rim right there.
Morris, no good. And so it's Anthony bringing it up for the Portland Trailblazers.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
This is why they go to him. When the game is tight, he ups his intensity level.
Now here's Jackson. He has 6. It's blocked, and they get it back. And the basket by Oturu. Up in time. That shot missing. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter. Clippers ahead as they end the third quarter on a 12-4 run. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it to the film session.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Anthony out there with Robert Covington. Then it's Damian Lillard. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Simons in at the shooting guard position. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. And that one, good. And the Clippers lead by 3.
Cutting into that deficit now, well within striking distance.
Yeah, just trying to keep the momentum now. And that's easier said than done.
And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Enes Kanter's checked in for Nurkic. And then for Los Angeles, Zubac is checked in for Patterson. Batum comes in for Marcus Morris. And it's Leonard in for Rajon Rondo. Now here is George. Zubac in the post. He's covered by Kanter. Good chance here for George. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. 20 points for Paul George.
And look at it, a significant portion of their offense coming on those second chance opportunities.
Back to Lillard. That 3 off the mark. Los Angeles leading by 5. Leonard attacking, and another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
He's been a different player since halftime, coming on strong now.
The Trailblazers shooting it really well, 54% from the floor. Leonard against Lillard. They get a hand on it. Here's George. It's good. George has got the lead up to 9 now for Los Angeles. Here's Simons. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Derek Jones, he's checked in for Portland. He hits both from the stripe. Clippers have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. George looking around, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. And the Trailblazers making a change here. McCollum's checked in. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Lillard against Zubac. And Damian Lillard with the jam.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Well, come on, guys. Someone has to rotate over. Defensively, that's just poor communication.
And George with the stuff.
And, guys, when George gets cooking, you are in for a long night. He's just fantastic at finding different ways to score.
Now here's McCollum. Kicks it out to Covington. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, the experience helping Kemp there. He doesn't shy away from taking big-time shots.
George against Jones. And McCollum with the block. It's deflected. Here's Lillard, and Lillard throws it down.
Gotta admire the passion Lillard plays with. He knows he loves having the ball in his hands.
George against McCollum. Now, here's George. He's guarded closely. Not going to go that time. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Covington. That one, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And Leonard gets it to go.
And, guys, that's the man you want with the ball in his hands on that critical possession. Kawhi being his best in the biggest moments.
Lillard attacking, and he gets the bucket.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You see this all too often. You have to be willing to put it in.
Outside, George. He gets it in there.
And there was a time when folks said George wasn't a clutch shooter. Remember? Not anymore, people.
Now, here's Lillard. Oh, good on the triple.
You know, the ill-advised threes isn't how you want to close the gap. They've got to have better shot selection.
Outside, George. Offline from the high post. The big-time possession here.
Yeah, and their hearts must be going 100 miles an hour right now.
And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Foul, he's checked in for Jones. Batum, and the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
And it's not about running up the score. It's about closing the door on any kind of comeback.
Here's Cantor. It falls. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Look at Enes Kanter maintaining that competitive energy. Finds a big shot to keep them in it.
And here's George. From deep three-point range. The shot off that time.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Yeah, and I have.
All right, David, thank you.
Over the land of the...
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sport. And they've got a few injuries on their bench. Less options, but good thing not too big of an impact for them.
2 injuries, one of their stars out, but it's all about how you respond to the adversity.
And the Clippers starting 5. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George, and it's Mann in at the 1 spot. And for the Mavericks, they've got Porzingis, Doncic out there with Richardson. Then there's Marjanovic, and it's Finney-Smith in at the small forward.
We are talking about a proficient, efficient scorer in Paul George. Go to work, sir.
Richardson finds Doncic. And there's the pass to Finney-Smith. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go, all the way. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Terrific activity from Paul George. Sticks his long arms in and mucks up the passing lanes.
Doncic looking it over. And there's Richardson. That's good on the assist by Doncic.
What an effective, efficient offensive possession. They'd love to get that shot every trip down the floor.
On the wing, George. And now just over a minute played here in the first. And he comes up with the deuce.
I'll tell you, that's the speed of Paul George on the drive. Amazing attack on the rim.
Doncic kicks to Richardson. Leonard against Doncic. Over Leonard. Doncic, no good. Clippers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And Leonard gets it to go.
And early on, they looked great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach. Well, Paul George, smack dab in the middle of the prime of his career, and maybe underestimated, is his drive to win.
Mann passes to George. Here's Leonard. A Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. The Mavericks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Batum, and he banks in the layup.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Out to Doncic. Drills it from outside.
Boy, the quick trigger of Luka Doncic makes him especially dangerous in catch and shoot. Good luck, defender.
Here's George. Yep, that one goes. George has got 8.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close. Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And Dallas going with a whole new group out there. Now here's Brunson to the left side wing. Cauley Stein kicks to Brunson. And he lays it straight in. There's 1:47 left in the first quarter. Powell with it, guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Here's Hardaway. Kennard with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 7. Here's Jackson. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. Well, it seems like every year, Greg, we see some incredible new players come to the NBA, and they are welcome with open arms. Their style of play is so terrific.
No doubt about it. You know, guys like Ja Morant, I think he's got a chance to be one of the greats. And any list about the future of the NBA has to include Luka Doncic. I don't know if there's a better basketball talent than that young man. And, you know, let's not forget about Devin Booker out in Phoenix as well. Terrific play.
3 terrific kids, you're right. Here's Redick following the score by Reggie Jackson. Redick dishes to Powell. Good on the shot. Powell's got his second bucket.
Well, this is where Dwight Powell is in his element. All of those physical abilities coming to bear on the interior. Nicely done.
Now here's Jackson. Pass to Oturu. Here's Kennard. Oturu. It's good on the putback.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Here's Brunson. Good work there as it goes.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for Los Angeles. 7-point differential. Dishes to Patterson. Jackson down low. It's wow, that was a strong dunk.
That is nice. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
What terrific work at the offensive end. They have built some early momentum here.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Patrick Patterson is out there with Marcus Morris. That's Rajon Rondo. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in at the 2 spot. Now the Clippers moving it up. Jackson's got the ball. Good. Jackson's got the lead up to 11 now for the Clippers.
Not an easy basket for Jackson. He doesn't shoot a really high percentage, but he does make a lot of tough hoops.
Here's Powell. Pass to Cauley Stein. He doesn't hit that one. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. Jackson drives in. It's deflected.
Powell is exceptional at timing for blocks, rises up and sends it back.
And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Jackson against Richardson, and he gets the whistle. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Mann's checked in. Richardson attacking, and it's Richardson slamming it down.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
My question is,
oh,
my goodness. You know, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
Here's Doncic, and Doncic throws it down.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. And the dunk by Zubats.
There's a real knack for understanding when a guy is uncovered. And Paul George's court awareness on display right there. Beautiful.
Richardson left side. Porzingis. Richardson the pass to Porzingis. Shot clock at 6. Here's Doncic. Leonard with the steal. Here's George. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
Yeah, you have to respect the focus of Paul George, not letting the defense alter his shot.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
George against Doncic. Oh, the power on that throwdown.
Wow. This is how athletic Paul George is, an absolute monster around the rim.
Here's Marjanovic now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. If you go step in a time machine, what would you like and dislike about playing in this era at this time?
Well, no doubt about the tempo and the spacing. I think that more than anything allows for the true skill and artistry of the game to be on display. I probably wouldn't want to get switched onto Embiid down low. That wouldn't. I would probably dislike that and let it be known vociferously.
But I always pictured you as being fearless, like you would never turn down that kind of challenge.
I wouldn't turn it down publicly.
Powell, he's checked in for Dallas. Rondo dishes to Leonard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Well, you think back to draft day in 2011. It was quiet then. It became loud as his career went on. But the Spurs get the draft rights to Kawhi Leonard on that day for George Hill. Incredible.
Cauley Stein, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Redick comes in for Luka Doncic. Powell with the steal. 1:14 left in the first half. No good with the layup. Here's George. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. George has got 10 points in the quarter.
What you love about Paul George is if he understands he's got his game in rhythm, he's going to stay aggressive.
When you watch Hardaway shoot, one thing that stands out, he has a very quick release.
And, Greg, that's what makes the jumper very tough to contest, especially when he's dialing it up from range. You have to stay connected to this guy defensively. It's not easy to do with the other weapons on this team.
Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Josh Richardson. And he makes that one. Jackson's got 10 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now here's Brunson. He's covered closely. Cauley-Stein kicks to Brunson. And the wide open shot from Reddick. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
This is Reddick's game to a T. Masterful at catching and firing shots with confidence and precision.
Jackson against Powell. It's tipped. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's his first foul of the game. And the bonus will go to the free throw line.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic. And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
The way he's shooting free throws tonight, you simply don't want to put him there.
It's rebounded by Dallas.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
Paul George, he's been the guy making think.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 18 points, 2 assists, and 1. That's all for now.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. It's been one outstanding game from George.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half. Got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far, the defense has not been able to counter it.
They've got Marjanovic. Richardson is out there with Luka Doncic. And there's Porzingis. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 spot. So that's who Rick Carlisle starts the second half with.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Now, here's Richardson. Tight defense on him. Here's Porzingis. He can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. Zubac finds Batum. On the wing, George. Just 5 on the clock. Porzingis with the block.
This guy is showing great potential as a rim protector. Porzingis a threat to block shots anywhere, anytime.
And that one goes out of bounds. Touched by Zubac. We have got to see that sensational mobile one block again.
Emphatic with the rejection. You've got to appreciate that kind of forceful defense.
Here's the break. Here's Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Kawhi Leonard makes dunks look easy. That ball looks like a grapefruit in his hands.
And Doncic, here we go. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
And no doubt about it, in order for them to be successful, he has got to be a catalyst when it comes to scoring.
And Doncic, here we go.
Well, Luka can get himself into the paint with consistency, and boy, does he make that a high percentage finish.
George looking around. Battles through traffic and lays it in. George has got 22 points.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Mavericks trail by 13. Here's Doncic. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
I'll tell you, individually, he is doing all he can. But right now, somebody's got to step in and support this guy.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And the Mavericks making a change here. Hardaway's checked in. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Rondo's checked in. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, we know that for years the NBA has thought about a postseason play-in tournament to get more teams and fans involved. Last year's pandemic stoppage basically necessitated its implementation. For the NBA, the disruption of business as usual enabled innovation and risk-taking. I don't want to be too hoity-toity, but it was Albert Einstein who once said, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity." Guys, back to you.
You're right. Thank you, David. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. Mike Powell comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. J.J. Redick's checked in for Doncic. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Richardson. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Here's Redick. Yes, and it's Hardaway picking up the assist. Redick's got 7.
Well, you want some unselfishness from a guy who's capable of scoring. And Tim Hardaway says, you know what? My teammate's open. I'm going to get him the ball.
And you know what? One of the few bright spots in this game for them today. He's kept his edge even though they've been trailing.
To the inside, Oturu, and he jams it with authority.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Brunson finds Powell. Comes up empty down low.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chipping.
Outside Jackson. To the middle. Here's Oturu. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Brunson, no good. Clippers leading by 13. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Dallas making a switch here. Porzingis is checked in.
And ever since halftime, they played precision basketball offensively.
I got to believe that's something the coach talked to them about at the halftime. They have valued each possession.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 8 of 10 shooting here in the second half. Very strong. Outside Jackson. Passes it to Patterson. Here's Oturu. Guarded by Hardaway. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
It's his first trip to the line. The first one falls. Marjanovic checked in for Dallas. George is checked in for the Clippers. Rondo comes in for Jackson. It's Porzingis with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Down by 15. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Brunson. And that'll be 2 free throws. And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. Their lead. And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Mavericks trailed by 15, and on the floor for the Clippers here in the 4th. Batum's out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Luke Kennard. Then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's Man in at the 1.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Richardson. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Well, get it inside to a quality scorer and let this guy do his thing.
Makes it off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 17.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Oh, he throws it down with such ease. That rim might as well be 8 feet off the ground.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Well, don't let Kawhi his quiet demeanor fool you. This guy has athleticism and explosiveness. How about that in style?
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. There's the pass to Kanong. He kicks it to Leonard. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
That one goes in.
Listen, this guy has off-the-charts basketball IQ. Luka Doncic understands when to get into that pull-up game.
Zubac trying to break loose.
Impossible to stop the putback when he's got that kind of position.
Agreed, Greg. Let him get his hands on it inside and finish it off.
How about the activity level, the effort level? This team right now feeding off his energy.
Paul George, he's checked in for the Clippers. Richardson, good. Los Angeles leading by 15. Porzingis with the steal. Now the Mavericks moving it up, and an intentional foul right there. Here's Porzingis. Trying to get open is Marjanovic. And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis.
Scoring through contact is something Kristaps Porzingis has got to get used to in the NBA. Teams try to get physical with this guy.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've... Don't sleep on his athleticism now. Porzingis plays well above the rim.
Clippers have gotten it done so far from the field here in the 4th, going 6 for 7. Here's George. Yep, that one goes in there. George has got 4 points in the quarter.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
The drive by Doncic and the dunk by Doncic.
If he sees a lane to the rim, Doncic will capitalize. Nice drive.
George finds Batum and the dunk by Batum.
Sometimes a player is born with a passer's mindset. He deals it with conviction.
Here's Doncic. That's tipped. Now, here's George. That one, no good. Outside, Porzingis pulls from the top of the key. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Porzingis has got 10 points here in the second half. A minute 50 left in the 4th. Clippers leading by 13. Outside, George. Six to shoot. Porzingis with the block. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Hardaway's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Dallas now running out of time. Here's Richardson. Here's Porzingis. And they convert it last on attempt number 3.
Oh, that's a good, strong finish. Porzingis not shying away from getting after it.
Leonard attacking, and the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And last year, Dallas gave Porzingis the contract he was looking for to the tune of $158 million.
And Greg, credit the Dallas organization for believing in Kristaps Porzingis' talent. And now credit Porzingis, because you have to share shot attempts and usage with Luka Doncic. What has he done? He's concentrated on better rebounding, better rim protecting. This guy is all in on winning, and what a combination these two guys can be.
George way outside. And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Redick comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Trey Burke's checked in for Luka Doncic. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Richardson. Here's Coffey, covered by Redick. And again, no good by the Clippers. And they'd love to cut this deficit down to single digits. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
I mean, the potential of Kristaps Porzingis, to me, could be terrifying as an opponent. This guy is an incredible big man with the ability to dominate both ends. I cannot wait to see what's next.
And there's the defensive 3-second call. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
Well, what a performer this guy is. Game is on the line. He stands up and delivers.
The three from George. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. And here we go. Fast break. Burke's got it. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
A fundamentally sound player. Gotta like how well Redick works the rock around the floor.
So the Clippers with the win. This was a hard... Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's good.